through until 2:30. Now, Cillian Ó Fathaigh is originally from County Clare, is a lecturer at King's College in London, but is also the co-founder of Pulc.ai. And this will be of interest now ahead of the exams because the junior cert and the leaving cert is not that far away. And the plan is to use AI to give students access to high quality exam preparations that are often the preserve of grind schools. And they're often located in or around Dublin. Well, Cillian now joins us on the line. Cillian, good afternoon.
Hi, John. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good, good. Now, explain what Pulc is about, if you
I
will.
will, yes. So, Pulc is an AI exam coach and it's an AI essay and maths corrector. So, for students, they can put in an essay for the Leaving Cert. It's trained specifically for the Leaving Cert, so it knows exactly how that essay should be marked, and
Mm.
it gives feedback exactly like the marking scheme after every paragraph. Now, for teachers, what it does is it speeds up their corrections because they can use it, and we're seeing this across the country now, use it as a submission tool in class so that they get automatic feedback generated that they can then edit, they have full control of, and they can then speed up their corrections that way as well. So it's a double sort of focus for both students and teachers. The idea really is to show that there's a lot of debate around AI. The idea is really to show that there's a lot of responsible ways we can use AI. I've seen the devastation that AI can have in a classroom, the potential cheating there. And this is a way of saying, look, there are many problems, but there are many productive ways we can use AI to save teachers time, make their lives easier, and also help with education inequality in terms of access of educational resources that students have. Because, I mean, everyone listening here will know that the sort of resources you get in Dublin versus the resources you get in the rest of the country, or even just between urban centres and rural centres, they're very, very different. So it's an effort to address that using the good bits of AI that we've managed to find.
So this is like it's like an alternative to grinds.
Exactly that. In fact, probably my greatest hate in education is grind schools. I wish if there's one thing I could do, it would be to get rid of them instantly, because actually they perpetuate inequality massively, because it's really those people who can afford to pay. And in addition, they create a lot of pressure on students. They feel the need, oh, I have to grinds because the person down the road is doing grinds and this sort of thing. This is a way of saying you can get instant feedback right now. It's entirely free as well, right? So it's available to everybody everywhere. The idea is they can pop in their essays, they can get that feedback, and they get exam coaching because that's the difference. Most schools they have excellent quality teachers. People still get grinds, and the reason is that they need that exam coach and exam preparation. This is a way of replacing that.
What about those who will say, "Well, listen, you're doing teachers who are earning a few euro on the side from grinds out of a bit of work."
Well, so I think our biggest problem is the grind schools, right? So I mean, they're a very, very large business. It's now I think about 100 million was what the ESRI had it estimated, between 80 to 100 million a year in what's called the shadow education industry. So I think there's a difference there between, the teacher on the side doing a bit of work and the large institutional grind schools, which, if you turn on RT and you look for, radio coverage or media coverage of education, you'll often have a representative from one of those one way or another promoting those schools. The impact on our education is really quite bad because all it does is make everyone think, right, if I'm going to be the best student, I have to do grinds. And it's not true.
So does this examine all papers, not just the wordy ones like say languages?
So what we're doing at the moment is we have English, Irish, Maths, French, Spanish, so the languages as well as Maths, which is particularly important for those doing higher level Maths, and we're hoping to launch other subjects next week. So it's just been myself and a very close friend of mine and tech genius friend Charles Dillon. We've been working on it together. So it's a matter of how much time we have to get the subjects in, but we're hoping to add more next week. We've got a lot of demand for different subjects too, because of course, right now coming up the final few weeks before the exam every week counts. So we're trying to get as much
Yeah.
subjects out as possible, but it's a lot of work.
And it is also all about the papers and trying to second guess what's going to be on the paper. So what your system does is it takes an essay or a body of work and then it compares it to or it grades it or it marks it and then it points you towards where things can be changed.
Yeah, so that's the exact point, John. So it's personalized, right? So you might go online, you find a sample essay or something. This is your own essay that you wrote with your own ideas, and it says exactly like a teacher would if they had an infinite amount of time. It goes, A good point there about dramatic irony. Add a little bit more. And if you do add that little bit more, you add in a quote here, you'll get an increase in your score on that particular part of the marking scheme. So that's what's important about it. It's very specific to the Leaving Cert. We've trained the model specifically for that. So students and also teachers can have confidence. Look, it's actually giving me feedback that's useful. You have a lot of people experimenting with the, well-known AI models, but really they give out general stuff. They hallucinate. They come up with absolute nonsense. We're an effort to say, look, here's something concrete. You can actually use it, and it should be able to give everyone access to exam coaching.
The it was first launched down in Clare, but it's spread nationwide. So now you have got students and teachers who've embraced it around the country.
Yeah, I think we've got about, the numbers have risen dramatically over the last few days, but I think we've now got about 300 in Donegal students using it as well. So it's spread far and wide, and about a good few dozen teachers anyways, maybe 50. I was trying to get the numbers beforehand. But actually the numbers are just increasing and increasing. And we originally had just thought we'll build a prototype, we'll see how it goes, we'll just throw it out there and see if we can help in particularly in rural areas. And it's just exploded, and we haven't done any promotion or anything like that. It's just students and teachers saying, look, actually this does the job. It can really help with these particular problems, and it can improve your exam results as well. That's the idea.
If it's free, what's in it for you? There must be something. Is there a bit of advertising or something
No,
along the sides?
so there literally isn't anything. So if there's anyone from the Department of Education listening, what I might like is
Feel
to get
free.
the funding, because actually our whole aim was to build something, show that AI can do some good things in Irish education, show people how it can work for them, and then build something that students and teachers find useful. And then hopefully, we'll work it out if there's a way in the future to sort that. But if there's anyone from the department listening, please drop me a line, and potentially a few bob if possible as well.
Because once you mention AI and students and exams, the alarm bells go off. But this is a responsible way of using AI.
100%. And I mean, this is something I've seen in my own class as well. I remember correcting, papers last year and seeing students use the exact same word in the same place, and the conclusion going, right, there's AI. But it's really difficult for teachers to tell. We just don't know sometimes as well. You might catch some, but you don't catch all of them. And most of the discourse is around cheating, and it's a real problem. What is important about Pulc is that it doesn't generate an essay for you. It takes your own ideas and it allows you to go, okay, those are my ideas. How do I make them better and better and better? And the important thing with that as well is that there's a lot of discourse now about predictions, trying to second guess what's on the paper. But actually, if you want to learn something off, it's better for it to be your own ideas rather than a sample essay someone has come up with. It's better to be something that you're passionate about and has your own perspective. And unfortunately, the way the Leaving Cert is structured, sometimes people end up funneling into writing the same essay as everybody else. And that's obviously boring for the students. It's therefore much more difficult to learn off, because it's difficult to learn off something if you're not interested in it. But it's very boring for the examiner. Because if you keep reading, 20 essays about Leigh the Sierra or something like that, you'll go a bit insane. So it's an effort also to let students make their own essays and get a little bit of help instantly and specifically to the marking scheme.
So at present, it gives help in a number of subjects, but there's more coming on in the coming weeks, or days and weeks.
Yes.
And
Hours.
and
Yes.
hours. Good, good. But it's only for the Leaving Cert at the moment, not the Junior Cert yet.
So it's only for the Leaving Cert. We have had some Junior Cert students try it as well, but it is focused on the Leaving Cert. But they might still get some useful feedback. But if Junior Cert students do try that, or Junior Cert teachers, it's important really to make sure that they realize the level is a bit higher, because we do now have students also trying that. But it is focused on the Leaving Cert. And we have a lot of fifth years doing it as well, coming up to the exam, the sort of end of year exams as well, and they're finding it quite useful. But it's very exam focused and giving that exam coaching.
Okay. It's called Pulc.ai, Pulc spelled Pulc.ai, if anyone wants to search for it. Cillian, the best of luck with it. Thanks for having a chat with us.
Cheers. Thank you, John.